Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to change the way the world eats. My name is Angela Shurina, and I'm a certified nutritionist, health, nutrition, performance, flow coach, and just someone who is absolutely passionate about helping people to use nutrition as a tool to do, feel, and look your absolute best. Guys, happy Monday, new week, new beginning. It's the fourth week of 2022. How are your goals going? How are you doing when it comes to your resolutions, inspirations, motivations, visions, everything that you've committed to? And by the way, guys, if you haven't created your vision for 2022, please just shut down this podcast and everything and go and create that vision. Because without vision, people perish. And what that basically means, if you don't give your brain a goal, a vision, something to thrive for, something to go for, guess what? The world's gonna give you the agenda, and more often than not, the agenda that at the end of this year, you're not gonna like. The world is never gonna give you the mission, the vision that's gonna feel fulfilling to you. You have to figure that out. And on figuring things out and figuring out your goals and your visions and where you need to go next, you might be feeling lost, and that's okay. What's not okay is staying there and not taking the actions to figure things out. Again, things will not come to you. You actually have to do something to change your life. You don't have to have 100% clarity, but you have to take actions. Imperfect, stumbling, falling, feeling like you're just moving in some haze or thick fog, but you have to have moving. And I've been listening to a few episodes of Brendan Burchard's show, one of the most popular and known high performance coach. And he was talking on his podcast about one of the best ways and probably the only most effective ways to figure things out and to take yourself to the next level is taking actions to challenge yourself. Now, guys, it's okay to take a day off. It's okay to take some time off when you need it. But more often than not, if you want to grow, if you want to figure things out, if you want to figure out the meaning of your life, if you want your life to feel fulfilling, you got to challenge yourself. If life feels easy and you think you got it all figured out, guess what? You are wrong. You're not challenging yourself, and you're just kind of like surfing through life, and not in a good way. Just bouncing back from one thing to another, catching one wave, another, not really having a direction. Guys, you're just not challenging yourself. And let's be clear on that. In life, we're either growing or dying. And if you feel lost, if you feel like your life has no purpose, more often than not, you're just being lazy and not really pushing yourself, not really taking the actions that your soul asks you to take. And it's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it and it wouldn't be called a challenge. It shouldn't be easy. Self-growth, development, transformation, taking yourself to another level, living a fulfilling life, it's a challenge, and it's supposed to feel hard more often than not. And if it doesn't, it means you're not challenging yourself, and there is something out there that you gotta do. And you will have to take actions that are not comfortable. If you think your next level of achievement or development, of building your next level vision, if you think it's gonna feel just, easy and natural, you're just delusional and you don't understand yet how living a fulfilling and meaningful life works. It's basically one challenge after another. You overcome something in yourself and the world, and the life kind of gives you a few moments off, and then you're on for the next one. And again, it's supposed to feel hard. Fulfilling and easy life have nothing to do in common. And if you're alive, you have the next level of challenge in you. It's not like, your 40s, in your 50s and 30s, or even 60s and 70s, and you're done. You're just gonna be, dispensing your wisdom. No, you're never done challenging yourself. You're never done growing unless you're dead. So if you're not dead, challenge yourself, guys. And that's where you'll find the most fulfilling and challenging life. And again, it's not going to be convenient. It's not going to be easy. So if you are looking for a meaningful, fulfilling life, then don't look for convenience and stop making excuses and understand that it's supposed to be hard and challenging. That being said, let's get back to nutrition. Over the weekend, I had an amazing early dinner out with some entrepreneurs, digital nomads who decided to design their life on their terms and live it exactly as they want. Even though it's challenging, again, more often than not, but they decided to take the chance, to take the challenge, to take that on and work through it. There is only one way through. There is some saying that, you can only go through it. You can't just avoid things and live a meaningful life. Anyhow, so the dinner was amazing. We went to a sushi place. I think it's called Sushi Club here in Playa del Carmen. I ordered edamame. Those are green soybeans. On the menu, it said salted. So I assumed they were steamed and salted, as in most Japanese restaurants, actually, they would do, unless specified otherwise. And then I ordered salmon, and I specifically asked them, no oil, no dressing, grilled vegetables, again, nothing. And they brought me everything in that oil, in that oxidized, sunflower or sunflower canola. That oil, it has specific smell. And every time you put a plate with that oil, with food cooked in that oil in front of me, I will smell it. And I put a piece of food on my mouth and I know that that's kind of oil. I don't know what's those oils have in common, like the way they process them or something. But if it's cooked in that oil, I smell it, I taste it. But for some reason, I'm might not be that bad. I'm having salmon and vegetables. And the last time I had it, something like that, was back in London. I believe it was either late spring or summer, so quite some time ago. And I guess I forgot how awful I felt the next day. So I'm let me do that. I forgot how it screwed up my immune system and how I had autoimmune condition. I guess one time wouldn't hurt. And yeah, it wouldn't kill me, but guys, the day after, and that was yesterday, I felt like the crankiest, depressed, unfulfilled version of myself that I haven't felt in months. But I knew it was because of that food, and I knew that because I remembered instantly that exact same thing happened last time too. It's you wake up and your mind is a little bit more antsy and negative about things. You're I don't like this and this and that, and you want to complain. It's so not me. What's happening? But I knew what was happening. It was that food in those oils. And guys, this is one of the worst offenders of human health that is in our food supply, so widely spread in all the restaurants, all the takeouts. All 99.9% of all of them use the same oils. They are oxidized. They use some, solvents, detergents. I don't know what exactly they do that. There is very little science on how exactly it works, how it influences our gut. But health researchers who did more research into how it influences our gut and our metabolic health, our cellular health, they say that it influences those oils. They influence our gut and our cellular health doing two things. They create more leakier gut. So our gut is a little bit leaky all the time. But when you do proper eating, proper fasting, give your gut proper break to recover overnight and longer, the gut is more than capable to seal all that is getting leaky throughout the day, to seal it so we absorb nutrients the best, so we don't trigger our immune system, we don't create additional inflammation. And what I'm going through is, this is what those oils do. They create the conditions that make it harder for the gut to seal that leakage. And so we end up having a leakier gut. And what happens is then there's all that stuff that is not supposed in our bloodstream is getting in our bloodstream. All these compounds, food compounds, possible pathogens, and that triggers more our immune system that's supposed to be guarding us, from all the pathogens and bacteria and things like COVID going around. These oils and leakier gut, it increases inflammation. It increases the amounts of sensitivities and allergies and pro-inflammatory reactions that we might have to different foods. So this is what is happening to our gut. And of course, what is happening in our gut, it's always reflected almost instantaneously in our brain. And that's why when there is something wrong is going in your gut, you'll always feel like there is something wrong with your mindset. Like, again, you're going to feel a little bit more negative. You'd want to complain more. You'd see the negative side of things more often. You'd be a little bit more anxious, a little bit more worried about things. And that's because everything that is happening in your gut, increased inflammation, sensitivities, triggering your immune system. So that's one aspect of how those oils influence in a negative way our health and our mental state. And then the second thing, those oils, they are oxidized and their structure is damaged. But almost all of the fats and oils to some degree are used in our cell membranes, especially polyunsaturated fats, and those are those oils that are oxidized and used for cooking. So those oils, those fats, they are put by the body, they're used in our cell membranes. And cell membranes, they're one of the most important parts of our cells because we need them to be in the best condition, fluid to some degree, but also not that much. It's kind of like in the middle. We need that to have great cellular communication. And if we don't have cellular communication and the flow of energy and nutrients between cells and cellular fluids and outer cell fluids in our blood, if we don't have that fluidity that allows all of that to flow properly, then almost any single process that is happening in our cell and between our cells, they're all going to be compromised, and we're just not going to have functional, effective cells and cellular function. And that will affect almost every single aspect of our health. And the more of those oils are introduced in our foods and introduced into our cellular membranes, the less functioning our body can be. And you can experience anything from hormonal problems to energy problems to fatigue to mental health to, again, almost everything can happen and can go wrong when cellular membrane is compromised in that way. And the tricky part about those oils, once they're in your cells, depending on the kind of cell they are at, it can take up to several years to get it out. They say it takes about 7 years to replenish and restore and rebuild all of the cells in our bodies. I think bone tissue is the last one to kind of replace the cells and have all of them new. So about once in 7 years, we're kind of all new. But if during those 7 years you've been eating out quite a lot and eating quite a lot of those oils, guess what, guys? It's just continuous progress, and those oils that never really go out of your system, and you're constantly going to be suffering with some health issues. So I've been pretty good over the past, I don't even know how many years that I studied, but for the past 10 years for sure, I've been really, really careful about those oils, except for maybe like, again, a couple of times per year, something that like clicks in me and I'm like, it's not that bad. And then the next day that happens and I'm like, it is that bad, And even though you will, I experience it on a mental side more that first day, but it's so profoundly different from how I usually feel, like how I feel today, that it's like, oh my God, Angela, like life just doesn't teach you, does it? But I swear to you, this is the last time I ate anything that potentially was cooked with those oils. But usually I know because, again, they have specific smell and specific taste. So yeah, just wanted to share with you my experience, and that's why I don't eat out in freaking restaurants that much, because almost everything, there are those oils either in sauces or dressings, or they decide to grill vegetables with that oil because it makes it, I don't know, tastier. I hate actually the taste of that oil. So, but yeah, those freaking oils, guys. That's why I don't eat out. I don't order food out. I trust very few meal delivery services. I eat very few snacks, more often than not, because of those oils, because they just everywhere. And you might think that feeling anxious and worried and a little bit on a negative side is natural. It's actually not. We are supposed to be optimistic, and we're supposed to get out there and seize opportunities. That's how human race developed, because we were opportunistic achievers. We went out there and sought new resources, new lands, new opportunities to survive and thrive. And now most people just stay in their comfort zone. And I'd argue that part of it, a huge part of it, is our food supply that's been compromised in so many ways. So the point of today's episode is, please do avoid takeout and restaurant meals. There are some safer options, like obviously if it's steamed, then it's not there, no oil is going to be there, right? So safer option. If it's dry grilled, or I actually went out here in a restaurant and the food there was grilled on some like coal, and then there was this piece of wood, so it was all dry, there were no oils, and I didn't have that reaction. So there are safer options, but you'll really have to do your best to seek them out. If you are determined to change your mental state long term and feel more upbeat and optimistic and being that sunshine that they call me here in Mexico, because I always smile, because it's natural to smile and feel good about your days, and again, just a lot of factors in our environment compromised our health and mental state, and that's we're not there most of the time. But yeah, don't eat out. If you need some advice on how to choose foods, if you have to eat out, or maybe certain options, even in fast food restaurants, you can actually find safer options, but you need to know what to look for, right? So if you need advice, please reach out, Angela at Create Yourself That Today, or any social media where you can find me. So reach out, let's help each other. And again, feeling not good mentally, a lot of time has to do with what's happening in your gut, guys. So fix that, and your mind might just fix itself. Thank you for listening, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this episode. Please reach out with questions, reach out for help. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.